Sean Diddy, Combs' mother defends son in new statement. She argued that although Combs did harm Cassie, this does not confirm the other allegations of abuse. Janice Small Combs, the mother of Sean Diddy Combs, released a statement defending her son from all the allegations brought against him this past year. Her legal representation at the law offices of Natalie G. Figures released the statement publicly on October 6. In the lengthy piece, she urged everyone not to prejudge her son before any convictions made. Moreover, she encouraged others to listen to Combs' side before engaging in the public lynching of his character. I come to you today as a mother that is devastated and profoundly saddened by the allegations made against my son Sean Combs. It is heartbreaking to see my son judged not for the truth but for a narrative created out of lies. She began the letter. To bear witness what seems to be like a public lynching of my son before he has had the opportunity to prove his innocence is a pain too unbearable to put into words, she added. Like every human being, my son deserves to have this day in court, to finally share his side and to prove his innocence. She noted that Combs is not perfect and lied about some of the accusations. However, she argued that the court system used his settlement with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura as an admission of guilt to more crimes. He has made mistakes in his past, as we all have, she wrote. My son may not have been entirely truthful about certain things, such as denying he has ever gotten violent with an ex-girlfriend when the hotel's surveillance showed otherwise. She continued, sometimes the truth and a lie become so closely intertwined that it becomes terrifying to admit one part of the story, especially when that truth is outside the norm or is too complicated to be believed. This is why I believe my son's civil legal team opted to settle the ex-girlfriend's lawsuit instead of contesting it until the end, resulting in a ricochet effect as the federal government used this decision against my son by interpreting it as an admission of guilt. She argued that although Combs did harm Cassie, this is not confirmation that the other allegations of abuse. Not being entirely straightforward about one issue does not mean my son is guilty of the repulsive allegations and the grave charges leveled against him. She emphasized that wrongfully convicted people often do not fit the image of a good person. As for Combs, she believes the other accusers are attempting to extort the media mogul for money. These lies thrown at him are motivated by those seeking a financial gain, and not justice, Smalls Combs wrote. These individuals saw how quickly my son's civil legal team settled his ex-girlfriend's lawsuit, so they believe they can receive a quick payday by falsely accusing my son. False allegations of sexual assault thwart true victims of sexual violence from getting the justice they deserve. The grandmother of 6 then explained the emotional toll of the allegations. This injustice has been unbearable for our family, she explained. The worst part of this ordeal is watching my beloved son be stripped of his dignity, not for what he did, but for what people choose to believe about him. To end her plea, she begged readers to think of those wrongfully convicted. Moreover, she emphasized that her son is not a monster, but a man who has yet to share his side. I beg you to think about those who have been wrongfully persecuted, to remember that not everyone who has made mistakes in life deserves to have their entire existence judged by a single action or a few mistakes, she said. Police arrested Combs in September on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He remains detained in a Brooklyn, New York jail.